Hello everyone, welcome to my fourth video on the series of, let's say, weekly life updates of a average mathematician, first year mathematician here at Oxford. Well, it won't be first year next year, but anyway. Um, and yeah, so before we start talking about what happened in week 3, which is the week that just finished or is about to finish, which we'll talk about in this video, let's talk about the view counts that I'm having, right? I'm having a very nice geometric, pretty much perfect geometric progression in my view count. Sadly, the R value, the ratio is 1/2. So, yeah, we're gonna converge to 0 viewers quite soon. But I predict this video will have 9 viewers based on the current progression. But so if you are one of those 9 viewers, please, share this video with your friend or something. Uh, anyway, what happened in week 3? Well, surprisingly, the workload isn't too bad. I was able to finish all 5 of my problem sheets. I think I might have mentioned this before, but essentially our work a week is 5 problem sheets, one from each subject that we're doing. I managed to finish all 5 on after Wednesday afternoonish, and that's not too bad, right? But we did have a lot of tutorials this week, and the reason why we have lots of tutorials is because we have tutorials for analysis, calculus, and geometry once a week, and then we have analysis for probability and linear algebra once every 2 weeks. And the thing is, you would think they would make this once every 2 week be on the different week, right? But they're both one odd week, one even week, so that we average to 4 tutorials a week. No. What they did is they made it odd week has 5 hours of tutorials, right? And then even weeks have 3 hours. And also on odd weeks, we have 2 hours of computational lessons. So which is basically 20 people in a room at the Maths Institute learning MATLAB, right? And you would imagine there's a lecture, it's a class at your high school. No. We just read a textbook or a guide and did problems. There was no interaction whatsoever. Honestly, I don't know why I had to go there. I could just be doing it in my room. I guess the lead demonstrator could help us if we had questions, but at least for the first chapter of MATLAB guide, it's just pretty simple stuff, right? It's pretty there's nothing that one wouldn't be able to understand. Anyway, so yeah, that's the workload. It's the tutorials are let's say questionably scheduled, but I did have some really nice tutorials this week. I had an analysis tutorial where I managed to trap my my tutor into saying and writing on the board, and I've taken a photo, so this is on record that she said, so a function can only be, or a function is uniformly convergent if and only if its first derivative is bounded, which will hopefully come in handy sometime next term when I do need to prove uniform convergence or whatever. But for now, it's not too useful, to be honest. So yeah, that's tutorial. Also for calculus tutorial, I had I'd say it wasn't fun in the sense that, calculus is never fun, right? It's very calculation heavy and a lot of just small details, especially hashing out the domain limitation once you solve a differential equation. That was quite challenging for me, but I think I fully understand it now after my second calculus tutorial. So that's really good. So the tutorials are certainly very helpful. It's just, yeah, they could be scheduled in a more, let's say, reasonable way. So in terms of the subjects, I think by far geometry is the hardest because, or at least for this week, it was on conics, which is something that is both very difficult to intuitively understand because imagine a plane crossing a cone, right? The cross section, it's quite difficult to picture, right? Or at least it is a little bit difficult. It's not too bad, but and then there's other definitions with eccentricities and things like this. So it is quite difficult, at least in my opinion, to like fully understand conics and a lot of the geometry that we've been doing to a certain extent. And also, if you worked with conics and just conics in general, I think, conics. We'll stick to conics for now. But if you've worked with conics, you know that the calculation can get really messy. So geometry is by far the hardest subject. Analysis is surprisingly fun. I'm starting to enjoy it, which I never thought I would, because I thought it was quite useless because, we learned calculus. We're just, kind of filling in the gap. But it is actually quite fun. I'm starting to enjoy it, which I never thought I would. What I've noticed is that I'm becoming very weak in my writing skills, because the longest thing I have to write for academic work is when I submit is the email that I write accompanying the work I submit, which is usually, "Dear tutor" or "Hi tutor, here is my work of the week, send," right? There's just no opportunity for me to write. I'm trying to apply to some spring week, and I just realized my writing is just awful, right? So I'm trying to find ways to practice writing. I'm writing some nonfiction opinion pieces, and I will try to make them good, and then hopefully one day even publish them, right? So yeah. Oh, right. If you're a publisher, or if you know someone who's a publisher, that might be interested. I wrote two essays, or I'm in the process of writing two essays. I wrote two essays, but I'm editing them. They're not very good right now. One is on the point of math is its point. The point of math is its pointlessness, and the other one is that high school should teach analysis instead of calculus. So if you think these would make good ideas for publishing reasons, let me know. You can read my drafts. And also, the last thing I want to address in my video is that, as you can probably guess by now, there's seems to be a resurgence of freshers flu, which really sucks. I've also talked with other people. Apparently, it's meant to hit week 5, but it's been constant throughout, right? Week 4 is probably, I'm still going to have it during week 4, right? And if it's going to hit week 5, life is just too hard. Yeah, I hope I can recover and get lose this cough. It wasn't as bad as it was in week 1, when I literally couldn't sleep. So it's manageable at the current moment, but it is still very annoying. And other than that, I will talk a bit more about my general thoughts. And I don't actually have any. This week is quite uninteresting, if I'm being honest. I think I've made all the observations that I have to make. The one thing is the weather is getting colder, which might explain the cough as well. But yeah, there's not much else that's happening. I sense that future videos will keep being this, quite, let's say, less eventful, right? The eventful stuff happens at the beginning, right? Week 0, Freshers Week. Week 1, the first week of stuff. Week 2, where I had my first tutorial. I would imagine those would be the more, let's say, interesting weeks. So in future weeks, instead of making just a straight up me narrating video, I might either add or just replace this narration. So I might add other content, my discussions with my friends, maybe a debate, maybe a subject roast, so where I say horrible things about people that does physics or even worse non-STEM subjects, right? And they say horrible things about math. I think that would be quite fun with my friends. Or I talk about just other stuff like philosophy. I have a friend doing second philosophy, and my discussion with him is usually quite interesting. maybe we will invite him onto our channel and have a discussion. And then, yeah. So other than that, I will basically think about some more fun content to put on here, and either I will just replace this narration if I think the narration is pointless, or if there's not much that happened this week, or I will keep the narration. I guess I probably will keep the narration as like a diary. So yeah, that's it for this week. We will see you. I will see you next week. Either somewhere in the middle for a discussion video or at the end for a narration if I couldn't find time otherwise.